Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. So today, the first thing we're going to talk about today is a pretty serious issue. As you can see from the first half of the title, no, this is not clickbait. I don't even wish it was clickbait because I don't wish this. We're going to be talking about the possibility of BTS being exposed to the virus. It's a very scary thing. And if you've not heard the news, then I'll definitely get into it and talk about it. I definitely didn't want to just end it there. I definitely wanted to wrap it up with something lighter and fun. So we do have a lighter, fun tea of Jungkook stealing things. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Okay, let's get into this. This is a bit hard to kind of talk about. Like not even just a little bit that I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about this. But I think it's something that we should definitely be aware about. So recently BTS was kind of like judges or on the show of I-LAND. I've spoken about I-LAND before. It apparently was a really low rated show. I mean, a lot of shows on Mnet are pretty low rated, but I personally really liked I-LAND. I thought it was really good. But that is a literal story for another time. This is not that time. Apparently one of the cleaning crews had visited the set of I-LAND, and this was just to clean up the set, you know, do what they normally do. They were reported to be wearing a mask, and apparently no one else was on set at the time of this person coming in to clean it. Now there isn't too much information on what the staff had did or what the staff had touched, where the staff had been, or anything like that. This staff tested positive for the virus. And afterwards, after receiving the news, Mnet did shut down everything. They shut down the scheduled production and the shooting for I-LAND. The then, I believe, 12 cast members of I-LAND are all being tested for the virus, and all appearances or whatever have been canceled involving the I-LAND cast. So this will likely mean that there'll be no new episodes for a while, and they're all being reported right now to be currently self-isolating. But the production team, this is the problem. They are likely the ones who have gotten in contact with the cleaning crew the most. So they are also all being tested. But obviously the way the virus works, at least from what I'm aware of, even if you are freshly infected, and then that day you just happen to get tested, because it is so newly in your body, I don't believe anything would come up in the test results. Your test would come out negative and you would think, oh, I guess I'm fine. And no symptoms would show up until about 14 days later. Now, I'm not sure about that and I don't know about that 100%, but I think this is kind of what the problem is. But this also means that if the cleaning crew was tested every single time they went on set to clean, which is highly unlikely, they could still come in contact with someone with the production crew and they could still have the virus when they come on set. Just that the symptoms of the virus may not be showing. And of course, the way this works, it could spread to the production team. Obviously, BTS works directly with the production team. And when BTS is shooting, they're obviously not wearing a mask. And quite frankly, I don't know if the production crew was wearing one either. I have no freaking idea because there's a very high chance of this because when they're on set, they're not wearing anything to protect themselves. So it is scary to think how close BTS is to this thing. It's very scary and I hope all of them are taking this time to be quarantined right now. They're all getting tested. I do believe they are okay. But if they happen to catch anything, if they catch it early, there is a good chance that they can get this fixed. Also, the boys are young, so it is good. I'm definitely not too worried. I'm definitely not insanely scared. But of course, they have the top medical team working with them. I think Mnet did the right choice by canceling the production, and hopefully they did act fast enough. Like I would imagine the only way they found out was that the cleaning person had to have gotten a fever after they went home. And then of course they went ahead and got tested. But like how long did it take from when they cleaned the set to when they started showing symptoms and then got a fever? And was anyone else on that set the next day or the next hour after the set was clean? Now these are the questions that I have. Of course, it is still too early to know 100% like for sure if this is a problem or not, but I definitely wanted to put it out there and to talk about it and have everyone keep an eye out. Keep them in your prayers if you pray. Everyone, of course, not just BTS, I-LAND, the crew, and of course this cleaning person. Apparently an insider mentioned that the health authorities were working on this. They were looking into the cleaning person and they were looking to backtrack to make sure that the cleaning person hadn't been in contact with too many people and make sure you can track down those people that they had been in contact with. And hopefully they made sure that all the masks and things like that were disposed of properly. They of course didn't mention that, but I hope that is something that they are looking into. I wanted to go over on the Tweetster and I have been very shocked at the amount of people who have been talking about this, which is slim to none. Very little people have wrote about this. I couldn't find too many tweets at all. But I'm going to be honest, maybe they were there and I just couldn't find them. But one person wrote, so since the I-LAND trainees were exposed to the cleaning crew that tested positive for the virus and they were in contact with BTS members, does that mean BTS also has to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks? I really do hope so. I really hope that they do. There's a possibility, a very small one, but there is a possibility, and we need to be aware of that. I don't know what to say here because I am nervous for not only BTS, but for any K-pop artist right now who is currently trying to make a comeback. I am very nervous for them to be doing so. Because no matter what, you can only limit the crew so much and limit the people that are on set to so little people. I mean, sets don't usually hire a bunch of people that they don't need, but then in this case, they probably have one person double up on responsibilities. But you can only limit the crew to so much much before they're just like, okay, we need more people. But let's say they limit it to 10 people. If the celebrity is meeting 10 people every day, that is high risk. In BTS's case, if it was just BTS's employees that they were meeting, not as big of a risk, right? I think this cleaning person was with Mnet. Mnet has a lot of employees, so it's very difficult to kind of track those employees. But I am hopeful. BTS has been on Island, so it is a thought to keep in your mind. It's probably going to be one of their last sets that they visit for a while, or at least another 2 weeks, right? Because I do think they should stay inside. But they have had a ridiculously fun time on set. At least it appears so. Jungkook specifically. Jungkook is in absolute mood, like always. This is why we are married. We have so much in common. When Jungkook sees food, he absolutely must have it. He must taste it, even if it's not his. Like, yes, I will do the same. Apparently he has been this way. Like, even back then when he was younger, when he was a rookie, he used to like take donuts. I don't know if they were for him, but he would take them. And pretty much most interviews that do provide food, you'll see him munching a little bit. This makes him so lovable to me. Now, in the Island set, where BTS decided to appear as trainees, when BTS decided to appear, Jungkook was in the kitchen and went right into the shelves to check out kind of the food, the pantry. He started picking out what looked like jam and marinara sauce. I don't know what kind of sandwich you making, but I'll have it. He pretty much just takes what he likes from that shelf. Stuff that maybe he will cook later in his hotel room. All that jazz. Now, if you don't know the layout of Island, or really what the reality show is, it is a reality show where the singers or trainees, they live in this house called Island. It's pretty much a perfect place to train and then eventually debut as an official singer. They have materials that you can use, a practice room, a gym, kitchen, anything that you would need to basically live in there and train and then be able to finally debut as a singer. But it's like a constantly being recorded kind of reality TV show. If you've ever watched shows like Brother or anything like that, it's very similar to that sort of content. And like that sort of show, everything in the house is bugged. Like there's cameras everywhere, and this is also that they can document everything that happens. So of course Taeyang and Jungkook were in the kitchen, and Jungkook realized there was a camera pointing right to him, looking at the goodies he just stole from the pantry. Jungkook of course feels no shame, zero shame. He does what he likes, and he is happy about it. He does not even kind of care, and then decides to proudly walk into where the other members are and flaunt the stuff that he had just stole from the kitchen. All the members were pretty much a little bit confused and like, what is going on? What is Jungkook doing? The question I ask myself constantly because I need to know what he's doing. Jin had a comment. He said, why would you steal that? That is for the kids to eat for the next 40 days. Jin is such a caring hyung. I love him for that. This is why Jin is my husband too. I gotta balance out the Jungkook playfulness with the caring Jin hyung. My two hubbies, and of course Taeyang, RM, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, we all married. The kids, of course, Jin is talking about is of course the trainees. I didn't know that all the food that was left in the kitchen was all for the trainees and like they don't get refills. Like if they just eat all of it, they just starve. No, I'm joking. I'm sure they definitely would refill it. The trainees had no food there. In which case, Jungkook should have at it. He can have as much as he wants. Take all the food. The amount of ratings that Jungkook has provided to Mnet, he can take a few foods from the pantry. They can afford some jam and peanut butter. Pasta sauce, apparently. I definitely wanted to see on the Tweetster and just see what people had to say about this adorable little thing that happened. This thing that he does. And one army wrote, Jungkook, a millionaire, can buy anything he wants. Also, Jungkook steals food from trainee. I agree, he is an alleged millionaire, which means he can take whatever he wants and then leave some money on the counter, right? That little bit of money there just to replenish the food. The good thing about Mnet's staff kind of canceling the production and postponing all the current filming and all that stuff is when they do open everything back up and they clean everything and all that stuff, they'll probably just do a quick restock. I do wonder if the Island trainees were kind of sent home and like they decided to just go into quarantine in their house, which is a good and positive thing that they get to go back into their house and kind of sleep in their bed for the next 2 weeks, enjoy being in their own bed and all that stuff, and then later go back into Island feeling inspired and ready to compete and debut as a singer. There's nothing like being inspired than being in your own bed. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over to my Patreon, kind of check that out. Anything you contribute over there really does help kind of give back to this channel and all that stuff. So make sure you check that out. And of course, if you don't want to go over to my Patreon, you can always just support by watching my videos all the way to the end. You can also get exclusive content on my Patreon though, like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions, all that stuff over there. Link in the top of the description down below. There's also 2 videos that will appear on screen at the end of the video. So click on one of those. See you over there. Bye.